I thought it was an anniversary surprise and followed her to the hotel, but caught her in bed with her lover. It ruined our celebration, but I exposed 12 years of her betrayal. Be me, 36 years old. Never forget the day my whole life turned upside down, driving home from work, feeling good, thinking about upcoming anniversary with wife. 12 years married, a whole decade plus change. Already booked our favorite restaurant. The one with overpriced champagne and fancy desserts she loves. Planning to surprise her with trip to Greece. We always talked about going. Life kept getting in the way though. Sitting in traffic, bored out of my mind. Start scrolling through Instagram. Notice something weird. Linda's profile pops up. Posted a picture just an hour ago. Her sitting at Sky Lounge, fancy cocktail in hand. Huge smile on her face. Here's the thing though. She's supposed to be at work conference. At least that's what she told me. I'm not usually paranoid, but Sky Lounge isn't just any bar. It's this super exclusive place downtown. Impossible to get in without reservation. Try to calm myself down. Maybe she went after work. Quick drink with colleagues or something. Check the timestamp on photo. 2:30 p.m. Who drinks at rooftop bars mid-workday? Decide to text her. How's the conference? She replies immediately. Super boring, just sitting through another presentation. That's when my stomach drops. Sitting in car, gripping steering wheel. Knuckles turning white. What the actual fuck? Staring at her message. Then back at the picture. She's lying straight to my face. Not even a small lie. Not something she could explain away. She's at some upscale bar, sipping cocktails, while telling me she's stuck in boring meeting. Never thought I'd have to do this. Find my iPhone. We shared locations forever. Mostly for safety reasons. Never used it like this before. Feel my heart racing. Watch the blue dot loading. She's not at conference center. She's downtown. Right there at Sky Lounge. Want to believe there's innocent explanation. Maybe she's surprising me. Maybe it's all misunderstanding. But then it hits me. All those business trips, late meetings, unexplained gaps in her schedule. Everything starts lining up, like pieces of twisted puzzle. That's when I know something big is happening. Can't confront her yet? Not without more proof. Play it cool instead, like nothing changed. Start paying closer attention. Become hyper-aware of every detail, every inconsistency in her stories. Start noticing little things. She takes her phone everywhere now. Into bathroom, out to garage, places she never cared about before. Her girls' nights becoming more frequent, each time with different excuse about coming home late, all building up. This creeping sense of betrayal, gnawing at my insides. Nothing could have prepared me for what happened 2 days before anniversary. Sitting in living room, mindlessly watching TV. Linda's out on another girls' night. At least that's what she called it. Left house around 6:30. Said she was meeting Jessica and Karen at some bar across town. Normally, I'd believe her. But after that Sky Lounge incident, couldn't shake feeling something was seriously wrong. Need answers. Tonight I'm going to get them. Have this tight, sick feeling in stomach all evening. Like a knot that keeps twisting tighter. Knowing something's coming. Something I'm not ready for? Can barely focus on TV. Thoughts keep drifting back to Linda's strange behavior. All these lies piling up. Around 9:45 p.m. get a text. It's from Jessica. We aren't particularly close, but we're friendly enough. She wouldn't usually text me, unless it was something trivial. When her name pops up, feel curious and worried. Hey, you guys coming out tonight? Message reads, stare at phone completely thrown off. Why would she ask that? When Linda's supposedly already with her? Decide to play dumb. Isn't Linda already with you? Type back. Takes Jessica a few minutes to respond. Can feel heart beating in throat. Finally bubbles appear. No, haven't seen her tonight. Thought you two might join us later. That's it? Last shred of doubt evaporates. She isn't with Jessica. Never was. Feel blood drain from face. Hand shaking slightly. Set phone down. Mind racing. Where the hell is she? Don't even hesitate. Grab keys. Throw on jacket. Head outdoor. Done waiting for lies to pile up. Have few guesses where she might be. Only couple places she could be. Places I was never invited to. Start driving aimlessly around town. Checking spots I know she likes. Fancy restaurants. Bars. Places she always mentioned. But never with me. That's when I see it. Driving past the Palm Resort. This upscale hotel. Went there once years ago. When we first started dating. One of those special occasion places. And parked right in front. Clear as day. Her car. Her fucking car. Pull into parking lot. Hands trembling on steering wheel. There it is. Car I bought her for birthday last year. Part of me doesn't want to believe it. Maybe there's logical explanation. Maybe she's here with friends. But deep down I know. Without thinking, storm into hotel. Heart pounding so hard. Can hear it in my ears. Don't care if I look crazy. Going to find her. Go straight to reception desk. Demand to know if room booked under her name. Receptionist gives nervous look. clearly unsure what to do. But luck's on my side. Elevator dings behind me. Out walks Linda. She's not alone. Arm in arm with some guy. Tall, dark hair, dressed like he owns the place. Can't even remember his face, honestly. All I can focus on is her, my wife, leaning into him, smiling up at him. Like I don't even exist. For a split second, she doesn't notice me. They're walking toward exit, laughing like they don't have care in world. Then she looks up, freezes. Her eyes lock on mine. Swear, it's like watching her entire soul drain out. She knows she's caught. Everything around me goes silent. Vision tunnels. All I can see is her, standing there stunned, guilty, not even trying to hide it. No covering this up, no excuses, no lies left to tell. For a moment, none of us move, like time stopped. But then she does something, makes my blood boil. Lets go of his arm, in most casual voice I've ever heard, says, "It's not what it looks like." Not what it looks like? Are you fucking kidding me? Don't even remember what I said next. All I know is anger. The betrayal hits me all at once, like freight train. Every ounce of trust I ever had in her, every good memory, every moment we shared, obliterated in instant. And there she stands, lying to my face, not even with decency to look ashamed. Whole body feels like it's on fire. Want to scream, want to throw something, want to do anything that could possibly match chaos inside me. But all I can do is stare at her. Linda. Woman I loved, woman I trusted, standing in front of me with some guy, looking guilty as hell, but still trying to spin her way out. Guy beside her shifts awkwardly. Clearly wasn't expecting this scene. Won't even look at me. Doesn't have the guts. Just stands there like mannequin, while Linda tries talking her way through mess. It's not what it looks like, she repeats. Voice steady but eyes darting. Between me and him, desperate, calculating. I laugh. Can't help it. Comes out sharp and bitter, like some kind of reflex. Not what it looks like, really? You're going to say that right now? She takes step forward, expression shifting from shock to something else, something colder. Can we not do this here? Let's talk about this at home. Home? Almost spit the word. You really think you're walking out of here with him? And we're just going to talk about it later? Like this is some minor misunderstanding? My voice getting louder. People starting to stare. Don't care. Want everyone to see? Want everyone to witness who she really is? Linda glances at Guy again. Clearly annoyed now. He's already taking step back, distancing himself from disaster. Typical. No courage to stay for fallout. Who is he, Linda? Demand with shaking voice. You've been sneaking around with him, haven't you? All those girls' nights? All those work dinners? It was all for this clown. She opens mouth to respond, but Guy speaks up first, voice low and hesitant. Look, man, I didn't know she was married. Turn to him. Vision tunneling again. Swear I see red. You didn't know? Are you kidding me right now? You've been sneaking around with my wife? And you want to play innocent? He holds up hands. Some pathetic attempt at truce. I'm just saying, shut up, I snap. Just shut up. You don't get to explain anything. You're a side note. This is between me and her. Turn back to Linda, voice dropping. How long? She hesitates for a split second. That hesitation tells me everything. How long, Linda? A few months, she mutters, barely above whisper. But I hear it clear as day. Weight of those words hits me, like punch to gut. Months. She'd been lying to me for months. While I was planning our anniversary, thinking about how to make her happy, she was out here with him. Chest tightens as I try to process. So what? All those nights you were working late? Or out with the girls? You were with him? Point at Guy. He's taking more steps back, like he wants to disappear. Linda crosses arms defensively. Whole demeanor shifting, from guilt to something colder, sharper. You don't understand. It's not like that. Not like that, I repeat. Voice full of disbelief. Then tell me, Linda, what's it like? How do you explain sneaking off to hotel with some random guy 2 days before our anniversary? Tell me how I'm supposed to understand this. Her face hardens. I see it. The switch, one I never thought I'd see. She's not going to apologize, not going to beg forgiveness. No, she's doubling down. I'm not happy, all right, she snaps, voice suddenly full of venom. You want the truth? There it is. I haven't been happy for a long time. You don't see me anymore, Nathan. You don't care. You're too busy with your job, your plans, your damn surprises, to even notice I've been miserable for months. Feel like I've been slapped. You think this is my fault? My voice shaking. Not from fear, from anger. I've done everything for you, Linda. Everything. I've been there. I've supported you. I've worked my ass off. So we could have the life we wanted. And this is what you do? You go behind my back. Hook up with some random guy. Because you're unhappy? She doesn't even flinch. It wasn't random. It wasn't just... She gestures vaguely. Like we're not talking about most devastating thing ever happening in our marriage? It's not just about that. We connected. He made me feel alive again. Like someone was actually paying attention. Stare at her. Unable to believe what I'm hearing. You're unbelievable. So that's it? You felt unseen. So instead of talking to me, you go off and start an affair? That's your justification? She doesn't answer, just glares at me, arms still crossed. Like she's the victim here. Like I'm the one overreacting. Few seconds of silence. Just standing there, staring at each other. Can see strangers watching from lobby. Don't care. Let them watch. Let them see the mess my life became. In matter of minutes. Finally, she speaks again. Voice icy cold. I was going to tell you... I just needed to figure out how... Laugh again. Hollow and bitter. Tell me what? On our anniversary? Over dinner and wine? You were just going to drop it. Like, hey, by the way, I've been screwing some guy for months. Because I'm not happy. She winces at bluntness. But I don't care. She deserves every word. You know what? I say. Voice steady now, as anger burns through me. I'm done. I'm done with this. With you. With all your lies. You want him? Fine. You can have him. But I'm not going to stand here and pretend like this can be fixed. There's no fixing this. For first time, see flicker of something in her eyes. Fear maybe, regret. But it's too late for that. Damage is done. Turn away from her. Away from mess she created. Walk out of hotel. Don't look back. Wish I could say. Walk to car was triumphant. You know, like in movies. When hero walks away from explosion. In slow motion. Never looking back. But it wasn't like that. Legs feel weak. Like walking through water. Every step heavy. By time I reach car, anger is gone. Replaced by cold emptiness. Settles in chest like weight. Can't lift. Sit there staring at steering wheel. Hands trembling. What am I supposed to do now? Drive home? Same home we shared? Same bed where we used to lay? Like everything was fine? Every memory of her now poisoned. Every moment we shared, twisted into lie. Not ready to go back there. Not yet. Do only thing that makes sense. Call Mike. Best friend since college. If anyone can help me make sense of this, it's him. Picks up on second ring. Nathan, what's up, man? His voice light, completely unaware of storm that just hit my life. I need to see you. My voice cracks. Silence that follows. Tells me he knows something's wrong. I'm home. Come over now. Drive to his place on autopilot. Barely register streets. Or passing lights. By time I pull into his driveway, feel like I'm holding my breath, waiting for someone to shake me. Tell me this is sick dream. Mike opens door before I knock. Concern etched across his face. Jesus, Nathan, what happened? You look like hell. Walk past him into house. Feel weight of night crash down. All at once, collapse onto his couch. It's Linda, I mutter. She's been cheating on me. Mike's face hardens. Doesn't say anything right away, but his jaw clenches. Can see anger building behind his eyes. What? His voice low. Controlled, like he's trying not to explode. On my behalf. She's been seeing someone. Continue. Barely recognize my own voice. Sounds flat. Emotionless. Like I'm telling someone else's story. For months. I caught her at hotel with him. Mike runs hands through hair. Pacing room. Are you fucking kidding me? He stops in front of me, eyes wide with disbelief. Linda? I never thought she'd do something like that. Neither did I say quietly. Voice shaky. But it all makes sense now. Every weird excuse. Every night she was working late. All those stupid girls' nights. That didn't make sense. She was with him the whole time. Can't hold it in anymore. Numbness cracks. Words start spilling out fast, like dam breaking. Tell him everything. How I caught her lying. About being at Sky Lounge. How I found her car at hotel. How she had nerve to tell me it wasn't what it looked like. She said she wasn't happy. Add with disgust. Voice thick. That's her excuse. I wasn't seeing her anymore. So she went and found someone else. To make her feel alive. Mike shakes head. Face flushed with anger. That's such bullshit, Nathan. You did everything for her. If she wasn't happy, she should have told you. Not sneaking around like some selfish. Doesn't finish sentence, but doesn't need to. Know what he's thinking, because I'm thinking it too. She didn't have decency to face problems head on. Took easy way out, finding someone else. To give her attention she thought she deserved. Sit back, rubbing hands over face, trying to calm storm in head. What do I do now? How the hell do I move forward from this? Mike sits down across from me, leaning forward, elbows on knees. Look, man, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but you can't stay with her. She's been lying to you for months. Who knows how long she was going to keep this up? You can't fix this. His words hit me hard. But no, he's right. There's no way back from this. Woman I thought I knew was gone, replaced by someone who saw me as afterthought, someone who couldn't even respect me enough to tell me truth. I know, I mutter, feeling weight of decision settle. But I'm not ready to end it tonight. I need to process all of this. Mike nods understanding. You don't have to do anything right now. Take some time. Clear your head. But when you're ready, you need to talk to lawyer. Protect yourself, man. She's already shown you who she really is. No, he's right. There's no coming back from this. Trust is shattered. No matter how many excuses she throws, none of it will ever undo what she did. Still, idea of ending my marriage, walking away from 12 years of my life, feels like stepping off cliff with no safety net. We sit in silence for a while, Mike giving me space to just sit with crushing reality. Don't know what next steps will be, or how I'll even face Linda when I get home, but one thing certain, can never look at her same way again. Everything different now. She made sure of that. Don't go home that night. Crash on Mike's couch instead, staring at ceiling in darkness, replaying everything in mind. Sleep is an option. How could I sleep when life I thought I had is collapsing around me? Like House of Cards, every memory, every laugh, every moment we shared now feels like cruel joke. She had been playing different game all along. I was too blind to see it. Must have dozed off at some point, because next thing I remember, waking up to dull gray light of early morning. Phone buzzing, 6 missed calls from Linda. Couple of texts too, all saying same thing. We need to talk. It's not what you think. Please come home. I can explain. Explain? Explain what? How she lied to my face for months. How she made me feel like I was crazy one. Every time I questioned her, sheer arrogance of it. Her thinking she could just talk way out, as if there was some magic combination of words that would undo fact that I caught her walking out of hotel with another man. Throw phone onto coffee table, screen flickering off as it lands face down. Not ready to face her. Not yet. Can feel anger bubbling up again. But this time it's not just anger at her. It's anger at myself too. For not seeing signs earlier. For letting myself get sucked into her web of lies. Mike wanders in from kitchen, holding 2 mugs of coffee. Hands me one. Sits down beside me. His face still serious. How you holding up? Take mug. Staring into dark liquid, like it holds answers. I don't know. Can't even wrap head around any of it. She's trying to get me to come home, so she can explain. But there's nothing left to explain. I saw everything I needed to see last night. Mike nods, but can tell there's more he wants to say. You're right. There's no fixing this, but he pauses, choosing words carefully. You need to go back, Nathan. Not for her, for you. You can't just run from it forever. Hate that he's right. No, I can't avoid confrontation. Can't stay on his couch. Pretend like my life isn't spiraling out of control. So after long silence, I nod. I'll go home, I mutter. But I don't know what's going to happen when I do. Pull into driveway few hours later. See her car parked outside. Like everything's normal. House looks same. Our house. Garden we planted together last spring. Porch where we'd have coffee. On quiet Saturday mornings. But now it all feels tainted. Like walking into crime scene. Except crime is invisible. Lurking in spaces between walls, in memories of life that's been shattered beyond repair. Hesitate at door, hand hovering over handle. Not ready for this conversation. Hell, not sure if I'll ever be ready, but can't avoid it any longer. Push door open. Step inside. Silence of house pressing down. Like wait. Linda sitting at kitchen table, staring at her phone, eyes red and puffy from crying. Second she sees me, she stands up, her face mess of guilt and desperation. Nathan, I cut her off. Hold up hand. Just don't. I'm not here to hear more lies, Linda. She blinks, clearly not expecting that. I'm not lying. I swear it wasn't what it looked like. Can't believe it. Even now, after everything, she still has nerve to pull this crap. Let out bitter laugh. You think I'm that stupid? You think you can talk your way out of this? I saw you, Linda. I saw you with him. Don't insult me by pretending. There's any version of this where you're not the villain. Her eyes fill with tears again. For a second, almost feel flicker of sympathy. Almost. But then she starts speaking again. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. She says, voice breaking, It just got out of control. I was unhappy, Nathan. I felt like you weren't there anymore. You were always working, always planning for future. And I needed something now. You needed something? Repeat, voice cold. So instead of talking to me, you decided solution was to sneak around? Behind my back for months? To walk out of hotel with another man? 2 days before our anniversary? She winces at words. But I'm not holding back anymore. Need her to hear it, to feel weight of what she's done. I'm sorry, she whispers. Wiping at eyes, I know I messed up. I know I betrayed you. But Nathan, I was going to end it. I was going to tell you and fix everything. Shake my head. Unable to believe what I'm hearing? You don't get it, do you? There's no fixing this. You can't just hit reset button and pretend like nothing happened. You destroyed us, Linda. Her tears keep falling. But they don't affect me like they used to. Feel empty now. Just another part of act. I never meant to hurt you, she says softly. I don't know how to explain it. There's nothing to explain, I snap. You were unhappy. And instead of working on it with me, you chose easy way out. You lied to me for months. And you didn't even have decency. To tell me truth, I had to catch you, Linda. You were never going to tell me. She opens mouth to argue, then closes it again. Knowing she doesn't have a leg to stand on, I loved you, I say, voice barely above whisper now. I gave you everything. And this is what I get in return. Silence hangs in air between us, like thick fog. There's no coming back from this. No amount of apologies, no amount of tears could undo what she's done. Finally, she speaks, voice small, broken. Do you want a divorce? Word hits me hard, but not way I expected. Not fear or sadness I feel. It's relief. Strange, bitter relief. Yeah, I say. Word heavy on tongue, but certain. I think I do. She nods, wiping face again. No fight left in her. No more excuses. No more lies. It's over. Turn and walk out of kitchen. Grab car keys from table. I'll be staying at Mike's for now. I'll get rest of my stuff later. As walk out door, feel strange sense of clarity, like finally breathing. For first time in months. Not ending I wanted. God, not even close. But it's one I needed. Woman I thought I knew is gone. Maybe she'd been gone long time. But now at least, can start figuring out who I am. Without her lies hanging over me. Like shadow. Not sure what future looks like. But for first time in long time, feel like I can see it again. Drive back to Mike's place different this time. Heaviness in chest. Rage. Endless looping thoughts. All dulled into something quieter. Something hollow. Not peace. But not chaos anymore either. Like moment after storm. When wind dies down, all you're left with is wreckage. Park outside his place. Sit there for a minute. Just staring ahead. Phone buzzing again. Linda, of course. Another text. I'll sign whatever you want. Just don't hate me. Hate her? Don't even have energy for hate anymore. Hate requires passion. And I'm running on fumes. No, what feel now is colder. Indifference. Used to think if things went south, I'd feel fire. Rage. Betrayal. All that. But this is like watching slow motion car crash that I couldn't stop. And now just have to live with. Step inside. Mike's there, sitting in same spot on couch, looking at me with cautious concern. How'd it go? Shrug. Drop keys on table. She's agreed to divorce? His eyes widen bit, like didn't expect it to move that fast. Just like that? Nod. Just like that? Think she knows there's nothing left to fight for. Mike stands up, pats me on back, but can tell he's treading carefully. Man, I know this feels... I don't even know what it feels like. But you did right thing. You couldn't stay in that. I know, I mutter. Collapse onto couch. But it still feels like I failed, you know? 12 years just gone. Mike sits down across from me, face serious. You didn't fail. She did. You gave her chance. Hell, you gave her more than she deserved. By not losing your mind. Right there in that hotel. And you tried, Nathan. You tried to make it work. But she burned bridge. Let out long breath. Nodding but not really feeling. Comfort in his words. He's right. But doesn't make it hurt any less. Silence between us stretches out. Few moments. Both trying to find something to say. But there isn't much left. Nothing that would make this easier. Suddenly buzz of phone. Cuts through quiet. Glance at screen. Expecting another message from Linda. But it's not. It's Karen. One of Linda's friends. Heart skips beat. For reasons can't explain. Can we talk? I think you need to know something. Sit up, staring at message. Mind racing. Why would Karen reach out now? In middle of all this? She's part of Linda's inner circle. Haven't spoken to her directly. In months, maybe even year. Mike notices my expression. Leans over. What's up? Something happened? Show him text. His eyebrows shoot up. Weird timing, right? Yeah, I mutter, tapping phone against knee. Not sure if should call her back, but curiosity gnawing at me. What could she possibly have to say now? Had Linda sent her? To do damage control? Try to smooth things over? But something tells me this isn't that. Something off in Karen's tone. Direct, almost urgent. Not like her to get involved. In drama like this, without overthinking it, hit call button. Phone rings twice. Before she picks up, her voice quiet. Like doesn't want anyone to hear. Nathan? Yeah, it's me. Reply. Standing up. Pacing room. What's going on? Why are you calling me? Karen sighs on other end, like trying to figure out where to start. Look, I don't want to make this worse for you, but I think you need to know something. Linda's been lying to you for longer than you think. Stomach drops. Longer? As if months weren't bad enough. Now there's more. How long? I ask. Voice tight, dreading answer. A year. Maybe more. Karen's voice apologetic. Like hates to be one telling me this. It wasn't just that guy you saw last night. There were others. I tried to stay out of it. But after what happened, I couldn't keep quiet anymore. You deserve to know. Stop pacing. Standing there in middle of Mike's living room. Whole body going cold. Others? Yeah, she whispers. I know it's hard to hear, but she's been doing this for a while. I don't know all details. But I know enough to know. That last night wasn't one-off thing. I wanted to tell you sooner, but cut her off. Why didn't you? She sighs again. Can hear guilt in her voice. Linda made me promise not to get involved. She said she'd handle it. I thought she'd stop, but it just kept going. I didn't know how to tell you, Nathan. I'm sorry. Don't respond right away. Trying to process what she just told me. A year? Maybe more. Head spinning. Linda's been lying to me that long. And Karen, one of her closest friends, had known. But kept quiet. Don't even know who I'm angrier at. Linda for her deception. Or Karen for not telling me sooner. Thanks for telling me now, I say. Voice flat. Don't have energy to be angry with Karen. Not really. She's not one who betrayed me. Just another casualty of Linda's lies. Nathan, I'm really sorry, Karen repeats. Voice soft. Hope you can move on from this. Yeah, I mutter. End call. Move on. Easier said than done. Turn to Mike, who's watching me carefully. What did she say? Tell him everything. About how Linda's been cheating for over a year. About multiple affairs. About Karen keeping quiet. Each word tastes bitter in mouth. Like tainting everything I thought I knew. Feel like suffocating. Under weight of it all. Mike shakes head. Face grim. Jesus, man. I don't even know what to say. A year? Yeah, I say. Cutting him off? It's over. It's been over for longer than I realized. Feel hollow again. Like part of me carved out. Thrown away. No salvaging this. No hope of understanding how woman I married became such stranger. Had been living in lie. For a year, maybe more. How could I ever trust again? After this, Mike pours another round of whiskey. We sit there in silence, air thick with truth. Of what I'd learned. Think about all time I wasted, trying to save something that had already been dead. Think about woman who wore mask of love and trust for years, only to pull it off. When it suited her, take deep breath, feel burn of whiskey in throat. Have to accept it now. Linda had been lost to me, long before I caught her. At that hotel, now have to find way to move forward. No matter how broken everything seems, days that followed felt like blur. Slow. Heavy. Crushing, spent them at Mike's, barely leaving his place, just sitting in silence, replaying every moment of last year, every lie Linda told me. Shock is gone now, but ache is constant, like dull throb that never leaves. Kind of pain that isn't sharp anymore, but deep, making you feel hollow inside. Haven't responded to Linda. Since that last conversation, she's sent more texts, left voicemails, refused to listen to, all probably filled with more excuses, more explanations. Don't care to hear, not ready to face her. Not because still have feelings, but because can't stomach thought of sitting across from her and seeing truth in her eyes. That woman I had loved, thought I loved, was stranger, a liar, a betrayer, but can't avoid her forever. Have to go back to house eventually, sort out my stuff, Get divorce papers ready. Start process of ripping Band-Aid off. Completely. Thought makes my skin crawl. House feels like it belongs. To different life now. One that died moment. I caught her in hotel lobby. Still. Know what has to be done. It's third day after blow up. When finally make decision. Stand up from Mike's couch. Grab jacket. Head for door. You going back to house? Mike asks, looking up from phone. Yeah, I say. Word heavier than should be. Need to start packing my stuff. He gives me look, both sympathetic and filled with silent encouragement. You got this, man. Just get in. Get your things. Get out. Don't let her twist it. I won't, I reply. But not sure if believe it. Linda always been good with words. Always knew how to bend situation. Make herself look like victim. But not this time. This time, no bending truth. Drive back to house surreal. Every street, every corner I turn. Reminds me of life I used to know. Life where thought had partner, by my side. Someone who had my back. Through everything, now feels like heading toward ruins. Of place that was supposed to be safe. Pull into driveway. Her car isn't there. That's relief. Need time alone. Space to pack stuff. Without her presence hovering. Filling air with lies. Unlock door. Step inside. House is quiet. Too quiet. Feels eerie. Like walking through museum of dead memories. Look around living room. Eyes catching small details. Photo of us on mantle. Smiling like we were invincible. Couch where spent countless nights. Binging TV shows. Laughing about stupid things. All feels foreign now. Like don't belong here anymore. Like walked into someone else's life. Head upstairs to bedroom. Try to focus on task at hand. Grab couple of suitcases. Start throwing clothes in, one after other. Not caring about folding or organizing. Just need to get out. Strip myself of this place. That no longer feels like home. As packing, notice something. Drawer Linda always kept locked. Her little private drawer. One she told me not to mess with. Just personal things. Nothing I'd be interested in. She always said. Like idiot. Never questioned it. But now questioning everything. Grab drawer's handle. Tugging it open. Half expecting it to be empty. Or filled with old papers. Maybe some random keepsakes. What find is something much worse? Inside are stacks of notes. Letters. Dozens of them. From multiple people. Some just scraps of paper. Others longer. Neatly folded. Like they were precious to her. Can't help myself? Start reading them. Stomach twisting with each word. They're from him. Not just guy from hotel. But others. Years of this. Small notes. Flirtations. Admissions of love and lust. Some explicit. Some just confessions of feelings. But message is clear. Linda had been cheating. Long before I even suspected. Long before I caught her. Can't believe it. Hands shaking. As hold these stupid notes? Mind racing with realization. That my marriage hadn't just been lie. For a year. It had been lie. For most of our time together. While I was working. Planning. Loving her. She was out living double life. Life where I was nothing. More than placeholder. Some fool in background. Who never saw what was happening. Right in front of him. Rage comes back. Hotter and sharper this time. Want to burn everything. Want to take those letters? Set them on fire. Watch them turn to ash. Like fake life we built together. But instead, shove them back in drawer. Slam it shut. Stand there breathing hard. Trying to keep myself together. Can't stay here anymore. Can't pack in this house. Can't breathe same air. Where she lied. And cheated. And made me look like fool. Grab bags already packed. Storm downstairs. Throw them into trunk of car. Without second thought. Get into car. Start engine. Glance back at house one last time. Was supposed to be our home. Place where we'd build future. Where we'd grow old together. But now all I see is prison. Place filled with ghosts. Don't want to confront. Don't know where heading. Back to Mike's maybe. Or just driving to clear head. All know is have to get away. Away from life that isn't mine anymore. Truth is out now. Linda's betrayals. Her years of deceit. All laid bare. As painful as it is. As broken as I feel. There's strange freedom in it too. Have nothing left to lose. Worst has already happened. Now all have to do is figure out what comes next. Wreckage still there. But at least now know what it looks like. No more pretending. As drive away. House disappears in rearview mirror. And with it, weight of lies. I carried for far too long. It's over. And maybe, just maybe, can finally start picking up pieces. Drive for hours that day, not knowing where going, or what looking for. Roads blur together. Every mile feels like shedding more of life I thought I had. Not trying to escape anymore. Trying to understand, how had I missed it? How had I been so blind? Truth is, had let myself be comfortable and lie. Had chosen to believe what we had was enough. That it was real. But reality was, Linda had checked out. Long before I knew problem existed. Eventually end up at park. Used to go to early in relationship. Back when things were simple. Almost deserted now. Few scattered trees, turning gold as autumn sets in. Park car and get out. Feel cool breeze hit face. Find empty bench. Sit down, just staring at empty space. For first time in days. Let myself really feel it. Not just anger or betrayal, but loss. Loss of decade of my life. Loss of future I imagined. With someone who doesn't exist anymore? Let tears come. Not from weakness, but from weight of it all. Finally settling on me, not crying for her. Crying for version of me. That's been destroyed in process. Don't know how long sit there, but eventually phone buzzes again. This time not Linda. It's my lawyer. Someone reluctantly called. After finding those letters, divorce process officially starting, final chapter of story. Never wanted to write. Stare at text for a moment. Strange sense of relief washing over. This is it. Beginning of end. No more uncertainty. No more waiting for her to explain, or apologize, or twist knife little deeper. Have power now. I'm one making decisions. I'm one cutting ties. Text back quickly. Let's do it. I'm ready. Lean back on bench. Close eyes. Take deep breath. For first time since everything blew up. Feel sliver of peace. Not complete. Still have to deal with mess. Still have to sign papers. Go through emotions of legally dissolving life. Thought was building, but at least now can see light at end of tunnel. Few days later, meet with lawyer. Process begins. Splitting assets. Negotiating terms. Figuring out what belongs to me. What willing to leave behind. Don't want much, just freedom. And whatever dignity have left. House, she can keep it. Don't want to live in graveyard of memories. Done clinging to past. Linda surprisingly compliant. Through whole thing. Maybe because knows. Nothing left to fight for. She signs what needs signing. Agrees to terms without much pushback. But no heartfelt conversations? No last-ditch efforts to save anything. By now, just two people. Severing legal bond. No love left. No connection. Last time see her. It's in lawyer's office. She sits across room from me. Looking smaller than remember. Like guilt and shame. Finally caught up to her. She doesn't say anything. Neither do I. We're past words. It's all paperwork now. Signatures and finalities. Meeting ends. Stand there awkwardly for a moment. She glances at me. Like waiting for some forgiveness. Some kind of closure. But don't have it to give. Not yet. Goodbye, Linda, I say. Words hanging in air. Like final nail in coffin. She nods. Eyes glistening with unshed tears. But don't stay to watch her break down. Walk out of that office. Out of that chapter of life. Into something new. Something unknown but mine. Months after divorce. Strange mix of freedom and grief. Days where feel lighter. Like weight lifted off chest. Don't have to worry about her anymore. Don't have to play role of clueless husband. Always chasing truth. Can live for myself now. But there are other days, darker days, when feel like walking through fog. Unsure of what comes next. Not that miss her. Don't. It's that spent so long. Building life around someone else. Don't know how to just be me anymore. Mike there for me through it all. But even he can't fill silence. That comes with being alone. He encourages me to get back out there. Start fresh. But not ready. Idea of trusting someone again. Seems impossible. Like trying to rebuild house after it's been burned to ground. Foundation still there, sure. But everything else in ruins. Spend a lot of time thinking. About who I was before Linda. Before lies. Before betrayal. Realize had lost pieces of myself. A long way. Not just because of her. But because had given up parts of myself. To make relationship work. Had bent over backward. To be person she wanted me to be. Not realizing was disappearing. In process, so start small. Take up running again. Something hadn't done since college. Clears mind. Gives sense of control. Start seeing therapists too. Because know if don't deal with damage. Linda had done. I'd carry it into every relationship after. Don't want that. Don't want to be guy who can't trust. Who always looks over shoulder. Waiting for next betrayal. Want to be better than that. Slowly, piece by piece. Start rebuilding. Not life had before. But something new. Something just for me. Focus on work. On friends. On rediscovering what makes me happy. Outside of relationship. Have no interest in dating. Not yet. That will come later. When ready. When healed. And healing isn't fast. Isn't easy. Some days feels like haven't made any progress at all. But over time, wounds start to close. Anger fades. Betrayal becomes scar. Instead of fresh cut. Then one day wake up. Realize not thinking about Linda anymore. Not in same way at least. She just chapter in my life. Painful one, sure. But one that's over. Still standing. Still breathing. Still me. Life had imagined with her is gone. But life building now. It's mine. For first time in long time, that feels like enough, if had any advice, for someone going through what I did. would be this: don't let betrayal define you. Don't let lies take away who you are. Going to hurt a lot, going to feel like end of world. But it's not. It's just end of one chapter, beginning of another, and that new chapter can be so much better than one you're leaving behind. Just have to be brave enough to turn page. My face when starting over at 35, my face when found myself again. That feel when life goes on and somehow you go on too.